C10 Talk, episode 146, C10 Sales. If it's a C10 and it's for sale, it's probably on C10 Sales.
They want to see a price. They hate the DM me and I'll send you the price, because, hey, just put the price out there so people know. They won't be bothering you. And if it's a good-looking truck with the right price, it's going to sell, and people want to see the price.
Damn, son. When you think air suspension for your build, you think AccuAir. Whether it's the ease of their plug-and-play installation, the E-level touchpad, or their new Endo platform, it's better by design, and it's zero compromise for you and your truck. AccuAir. Whether you're looking to replace your original steering, update those old brakes, or improve your suspension and handling, Classic Performance Products has got your classic truck covered. Check them out at classicperform.com. That's classicperform.com. When it comes to upgrading your truck's gauges, look no further than Dakota Digital and their wide selection of direct fit instrument systems. Hit up dakotadigital.com for more information. C10 Nation, are you looking to upgrade your power plant? Are you thinking about going with an LS or an LT-based motor? If you are, PSI Conversions is your go-to for your wiring harness needs. psiconversions.com/C10 Talk.
Welcome to C10 Talk, your C10 Truck podcast. Here's your host, Ronnie Welch.
C10 Nation, listen up! Episode 146, Mr. Cougar, C10 Sales himself, sat down and talked about the craziness that is an Instagram profile that is gaining followers by the minute, by the second, because this guy's slinging trucks or helping you sling your truck, C10 Sales. So, fun episode and getting to know Cougar and what he does, the man behind the scenes, the man behind the phone, if you will. Good times. Episode 144 was Kirk Stricker, if you remember. That was the damn, where's my truck? And he got that 69 GMC stolen. Well, our friend of the show, our buddy Steven Boschma, called in and had a little insight on some tracking devices that are available and what you should know about that. Steven left us a little update on that, so I encourage you guys to try to use that, this little voice recorder thing on our website, c10nation.com. Right there, you just, to the right of the screen, it'll say leave a voicemail. You click it and talk away. So I wanted to make sure I got his message out. I should have played it last episode, but it skipped my mind, and I didn't get it out there. So let's hear what Steven's got for us.
Hey, Ronnie, it's Steven Boschma. You were asking on your last Stolen GMC podcast about what other people have done. I had a 34-foot Intech enclosed trailer get stolen from Austin Speed Shop. And I even went the extra mile, put a GPS tracker way up on the roof where I thought it would be out of the way for everybody to see. And some people cut the lock of the shop, drove away with the trailer about 45 minutes outside of Austin. Online, it shows that it sat there for about an hour where they, I'm guessing, took all the stuff out of it, and that's where they found my tracker. Later on, the tracker comes right back into town, middle of the day, and it pinged one last time near the speed shop and then disappeared right off the freeway. So my guess is they found it and then chucked it out a window or whatever to destroy it. So my advice to everybody, if you do get one of those tracking systems, make sure you hide it as best you can. Hindsight, I should have put it underneath the cover for my air conditioning system on the trailer. But yeah, just hide it as best you can. These guys are really smart. Hopefully none of us have to go through that, but it's going to happen. See ya.
All right, good stuff, Steven. I appreciate it. I'm going to send you a shirt for doing that. And for you guys, C10 Nation, you can check him out. He is a badass blazer builder. He's got a hoe, so he's got an OBS red Tahoe. And he also has a rad little 67-72, only in that obviously they didn't build those blazers in 67 and 68, but Steven and the boys over there, they're doing it. So check it out. His Instagram is Steven, common spelling, and then Boschma, Boschma, Stephen Boschma. Check him out because he has some rad ass rides. He picked up a dually from Dino a while back, and that's kind of how I met him. But he's got some cool shit, so check him out. Show caps. So let's talk about some shows. They just had a couple shows over the weekend. C10's at the Capitol. So Jen and Todd, I talked to Mr. John Oro. He said it was awesome. Great weather, great venue, and really a great showing. So congratulations to the C10s at the Capitol. So you guys up in the Pacific Northwest, keep that one on your calendar. Next year, I'm sure they'll be back. So the first annual inaugural show, inaugural? I think I said that right. Show was just this past Saturday. So if you're up there and you're up in the Pacific Northwest, get ready for number 2 next year. Southeastern Square Bodies, those guys had their, I don't have a lot of contact with those guys. I just kind of see that their Instagram. I don't know how many trucks they had. It looked cool. It's all squares, and that was out in, I think, Dawsonville, Georgia. So that's Southeastern Squares. If you're out there, Mr. Southeastern Squares, and you want to let me know how it went, let me know. Hit me up, Instagram, DM, or an email, Ronnie at C10 Talk. Now, I did get a couple shows, ironically enough, 2 shows in Idaho and Utah Pimp. So first annual C10's at the Island. Now, this is Oval Shark, who is a friend of the show. Mr. Oval Shark is putting that on. That's going to be September 8th, 2019, Eagle Island State Park, 9 to 12. C10's at the Island. Give Oval Shark, that's it, Oval Shark, a follow if you're in Idaho and you want to hit that show up. September 8th. Let's see, who else do I got? I got another one in Idaho. Like I said, kind of crazy. This one is this is Devon, and this is August 24th. So this one's a little sooner. Let's click on the link. He's got a little thing here. This is the Snake River Truck and Off-Road Show. And this is August 24th, and its location is at the AG Parts Manufacturing, Shelley, Idaho. That's August 24th. So you Idahoans got plenty going on over there. If you guys are out there and you're running a C10 show, not just any old regular show, and you want me to announce on the show on the C10 Talk and let me, announce it to the world of the C10 Nation, hit me up and I'll do it. If you email it, that's the best because then I put it in a little file, and if you don't, then probably not going to happen because unfortunately I get doing too many damn things. A few other shows we're getting ready for, obviously, our C10 Intervention, September 15th, up in Auburn, California. I think they just sold out, so congratulations to them. Pretty crazy. They're sold out, and then right after that is the C10s in the park in Waxahachie, Texas, our buddy Terry, and that's sold out as well. So 2 sold out shows, NorCal, Auburn, will be up there. Come by from a spectator perspective if you weren't able to get your truck in or your truck's not done. Say hi, we'll be up there, and we're looking forward to that show. That's going to be, I think, this is their 2nd annual show, so that'll be fun. And then we're going to mosey on over to Texas the following weekend, and we'll be at the C10s in the park. That's a really cool show. Terry and the crew put it on, and one thing that they do after the show is they have the party on the square. So they've got Jason Cassidy coming back for the 3rd time, and he is a performer. He's a country singer, but he does a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And not only that, what makes Jason so rad is he's a C10 guy. So check him out, Jason Cassidy. Cassidy Customs is his Instagram, and the dude puts on an amazing show. And it's this little venue in Waxahachie. Terry, the C10 mayor, they do a great job. So if you're in the area and you haven't got your truck registered, then I don't think it's going to happen because they're pretty much sold out. But put your ear to the grindstone there. You might find somebody who isn't able to make it, and you can swoop up their registration. I'm not sure how that all works. We'll be out there. Same thing, swing on by, say hi, get a sticker, and then after we'll be at the party on the square brought to you by American Racing Wheels, and that's who's bringing that to you over there at the Waxahachie downtown. Little quaint little place. We get some dinner, and we listen to Jason rock it out. So that's the plan for September. That's September 21st, I believe. So September 15th and the 21st, we got a lot going on. Let's see here. What else? Oh, I just recorded OBS Talk number 1. So I'm considering me and Travis to sit down, kind of an intro to OBS Talk. But earlier today, I was able to sit down with Mark Oya from California Speed and Custom. and do a little OBS talk number 1. Honestly, we didn't talk near as much about OBS as I thought. He's also a C10 guy, so and he's got a ton of history from working for Boyd Coddington, being on 4 seasons with Overhauling and Chip Foose. So tons of automotive lineage coming out of Mark and the stories. So that'll be a good one. I don't know if that'll drop next week or the following week, but that'll be OBS Talk number 1. Speaking of OBS Talk, OBS_talk. If you're an OBS guy, OBS_talk. I don't know how active I'll be from posting and all that. I just thought grab the spot, and then when we drop the episodes and any kind of info and so on and so forth, it'll be over there. I don't want to crowd up the C10 venue too much, but give us a follow if you're an OBS guy or you just want to listen to those episodes, so on and so forth. Those are going to be on here anyway, so if you're subscribed to C10 Talk, that would be great. Let's get to some reviews for you guys. Some 5 stars. Best Automotive Podcast, 5 stars. Trucker Mike 68, dude, thank you so much for that. 5 stars. Ronnie is rocking the podcast. Keep up the good work. Trucker Mike, thanks, man. That's cool. I'm hoping you're jamming out as you're hauling freight and doing what you do. So keep it up.
5 star. Perfect. Thank you.
The show is bitchin'. Keep it up. 5 stars. Thank you. Roll Tide _32. Hey, Ronnie, thanks for the awesome content. I love tuning in and catching up on podcasts when I'm out working in my garage. Keep it up. Thanks, John Summerdale. I think I've stolen the damn son catchphrase. Oh, well, have at it, brother. It's yours. If you got a boy like I do, then it's all yours, especially because it's like, damn, son. So, Roll Tide _32, 5 stars. Thanks.
5 star. Perfect. Thank you.
C10 Talk, 5 stars by Nick, 87 Step /67 Long. That's a long name, Nick. Great podcast. Would love to hear an episode of Static Drops, 76 through 72 and 73 through 87 specifically. I don't know what to tell you on 76 through 72. I think we got that a little backwards. But Static Drops, that would be a great tech. I would just say CPP, because you want their modular spindle. And there is a plethora. The bottom line with a lot of this stuff is, do you have disc brakes? Do you have drum brakes? And maybe that's something we'll do. Nick, 87 Step. Thanks, brother. I like that. I like your idea. 5 stars.
5 star. Perfect. Thank you.
All right, one more. 5 stars. Like it. You ain't lying. Appraiser Jack. You know Appraiser Jack? He has been on the show, so this is a good one. I have owned my C10s and C20s, square bodies. It's amazing the culture that's out there. And now Ronnie's bringing it right into your ear. Awesome. Learn, grow, and lower. I like it. 5 stars, Appraiser Jack.
5 star. Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, brother. Okay, there's your 5-star reviews for the week. I appreciate you guys taking the time. If you haven't, please get on iTunes, leave us a 5-star review. If it's kicking your butt, send me an email, Ronnie at C10 Talk, and I'll send you a link on how to do that. We appreciate it. If you can do that and leave us a review, let the world know about us. Let your mama, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your mother. I don't care who it is. Let them know about C10 Talk. I'm going to take you out with that. Okay, so C10 Sales, Cougar, good dude, guys hustling. Have a great week. If you need stickers, clothes, shirts, hats, underwear, no, we don't have underwear. I am bringing the cups back. I've got a ton of emails about the cups. Those will be back probably around Dino's Get Down. So those will sell around the Get Down time, and then they're good Christmas gifts or stocking stuffers. So hold tight on the coffee cups. They'll be back. All right, guys. Have a great week. Do what you do. Stay out of trouble. Late. All right. C10 Nation. How about a little C10 Sales? Yeah, that's right. If you haven't followed him on Instagram, we're going to talk about it. Mr. C10 Sales, Cougar 1967. Cougar, a.k.a. Jose, welcome to the show, brother.
How you doing, Ronnie? Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, I'm doing great, and I'm honored to have you on. Probably, I would say, not much more of a harder worker that we've got in the C10 Nation and on Instagram right now. Let's talk a little bit, Cougar, about who you are and how you got into C10 trucks, man.
Well, I've been doing the C10s probably about the last 15 years. First C10 I picked up was a teal 1969 short bed fleet side. I picked it up actually at the Tesla power plant when they were coming out with the new electric vehicles. and it all went downhill from there. I picked it up with Johnny G, 66 Chevy. He's been my partner since day one. We flipped a few hundred C10s, I want to say. Few hundred C10s, and anything that was within a day's drive, we would go get them, bring them back, clean them up, and sell them. I knew that guy was trouble. Yeah, he was. He done messed up and left Cali.
He's an AZ now, man. We got it. We stole him. We're not going to give him back.
Everybody's going to AZ.
Yeah, I don't blame.
Everybody.
I don't blame him. But I don't know. You guys have quite a bit of you've got a good stockpile over there. It sounds like you've been in the game or the scene before. A lot of times, for me, people will say, "Oh, you've been, the podcast is 5 years old," and I'll be like, "Dude, I've been into C10s for over 20 years." And they're like, "Oh, you're into them before they were cool." And it's like, I don't think I really realized that. Now, granted, we talk about that we're in such a crazy movement right now, but you've obviously been in the game, in the scene, enjoying these trucks, and then just seeing that there's a lot of potential and ability to pull from a lot of trucks out there that are dry in Cali.
Yeah, there's tons of trucks out here. There's tons of trucks. I see them all day long. Everybody knows that I've been doing this for a long time, so I get texts all the time. People, "Hey, I have this truck," or "Hey, my neighbor has this truck. This truck just came out of the garage." I picked one up 5 minutes from my house that's been sitting in the backyard. It was a 68 short bed fleece side, perfect patina. Pulled that out of a backyard that's been sitting there for 20 years. And this happens all day long. Everybody always messaging me, DMs, calling me, because there's trucks all over LA. Not just in LA, but in a lot up north, a lot in Frisco, Sacramento, Visalia, that area as well. Yeah,
don't give away all your secrets, man. Keep a couple honey holes. Keep a couple honey holes.
The secret is you got to jump on them when they're there. That's plain and simple. Dude, if you see the truck, you gotta act right then and there.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it, right? The hustle. So how are you able to do that? I mean, are you with your work, you're able to kind of just take off if you need something, if you need to go chase one down?
If I have to chase one down, usually what I try to do is make a trip out of it with my girl and my kids. We'll take off, spend the weekend where I'm at, and come back with the trailer loaded. 2 weekends ago, I picked one up in the Salton Sea. Was about 200 miles from me. Picked it up, brought it back, had it sold that morning, delivered it to Bakersfield. Found another one in Bakersfield, brought it back with me, had it sold that Sunday night.
Wow, the hustle.
They're out. Yeah, they're out there. If you want to go get it, you got to go get it.
Yeah, you got some sweat equity in that. How did you evolve from, the hustle that you had for the last 15 years, you and Johnny? Well, here, let's go back. How the hell did you get the name Cougar, bro?
Cougar in high school. High school, I had a 67 Cougar, bought it for $700. That was my baby. And everybody started calling me Cougar, and it just stuck.
You sure that's why they call you Cougar? You're not like some hot older chick, or maybe,
No. It was because of the car.
You were Cougar before Cougar was cool, or before Cougar meant what it means now?
Yeah, exactly. It was. I was being called Cougar before anybody knew anything about that.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Maybe when they see your Instagram handle, they're like, because his Instagram handle is Cougar 1967. So if you think about it, if it was to be his birthday, then he would be like 52 Cougar.
You should see the DMs I get because of that name. I got all kinds of dudes that I have to block.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I don't need a dick pic today, all right?
Exactly.
If it's a C10, then it's one thing, but if it's a dick pic, he's out. So don't think about sending him any of that stuff, you guys. I can only imagine, to think that you when you picked that name when Instagram came about. I would say that's about when Cougars were, but coming out as well. But you probably weren't thinking about that. So you had a 1967 Cougar. How long did you have that truck or that car?
The car, I had my whole high school year. A lot of memories in that car. I had it. Then it got to the point where I couldn't afford to keep it going, so I just ended up scrapping it. Sold it for pennies for what I had in it. But yeah, I had to have an old car in high school, and then after that, that was it for the Cougar. That was the one and only Ford I ever had. After that, it's all been nothing but Chevys.
Speaking of scrapping, do you remember that time in Cali when they were scrapping all those old trucks?
No.
Yeah, they were doing that cash for cars, and they were They would take all kinds of old...
Cash for clunkers.
Yeah, cash for clunkers. Yeah, and they would take them in, man. There's so many good... I mean, don't get me wrong. There's probably a few Renaults in there and some different Chrysler POSs. But I'm sure there's a few square bodies and a few C10s and 6772s that made their way into that those piles and that metal, unfortunately.
For sure. You see, I'm telling you, right now, you see them. Everybody's still driving them around. You see C10s all day long around here. People still putting them to work. And it's just the California laws on smog are so strict. Everybody rather just have something that old, putting a couple bucks in it here and there to keep it going.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool though. That's good for our hobby too, because the parts are available and they run and people want them. How did you come about with C10 Sales? How did that kind of kick off?
C10 Sales actually came with I was talking to Raul from C10 Era, and I was telling him, hey, we need to do something. There's nothing out there right now, and I need to sell all my junk, so I need somewhere to sell it. Because I would post it up on my Cougar 1967, but there wasn't a lot of traffic on mine to say. Mm-hmm. So I would tell Raul, hey, post it for me. He goes, I don't want to post it, because then I start having everybody sending me stuff to post. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna start one with him. Raul's help, I started the C10 Sales, and that thing just caught fire. It blew up. Right now, I think it's like 28,000 followers. It's going up a few hundred followers every day. I get tons of DMs of people having me post stuff. I have to turn a lot of people away because I feel bad, but at times I get people sending me long bed step sides that are rusted through. You can see through the floor, not running, missing everything. They want 20 grand for it. And I feel bad, but I can't. I have to tell them, hey, you know what? This isn't worth close to what you're asking. If I put it on there, people are just going to make fun of you. So I hurt some feelings, but at times I got to tell them the truth. Yeah,
I mean, you're right. Yeah. I mean, and then people will start to turn out or turn off C10 Sales if it's just saturated with, a bunch of overpriced stuff.
Yeah, right now as it is, I'm posting about 5 to 10. Today so far I posted 10 cars. And it's a lot of stuff to post. It's a lot of questions. People asking me for advice. People asking me for prices. I don't put prices out there. What you're asking for your car, that's what you're asking for your car. I can't tell you what the value is because I haven't put in the work. I don't know what you got it for. I don't know what you have in it. I don't know what kind of work you did. So the value is your value. But at times, too, you can't expect to pull $50,000 out of some rust bucket that's not worth anything to anybody else just because you have a sentimental value.
Yeah, that's the hard part. You nailed it, man. The sentimental, and then they see the movement and they see the scene. And then sometimes I think it depends on location too,
Yeah. And then, like you said, the truck scene here in LA is huge. In Southern California, truck scene is huge. Arizona, the truck scene is huge. Up north, the truck scene is huge. So people see the prices of these cars out in that area, so they think, I'm gonna put the same price on mine, even though they don't know that this person has a $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 paint job just in paint alone. They have some huge wheels or depends on what wheels. There's another 5,000 in wheels. They don't see all that. They just think, I have the truck, so that's what it's worth.
Yeah,
but it's a live and learn, I guess. Once you go through a few trucks, you know what the value is.
What's the craziest thing you've been kind of asked to or DM'd or that somebody wanted you to post up?
A Scion. That's why I posted it. I won't post a Scion. Some guy messaged me. He had a 2007 Scion XB. If I could post it for him. I'm like, no, this is Chevys and C10s. I mean, this is C10s and GMC Sales, not Scions, not Toyotas. He goes, well, I just think you could help me out. I was like, nah, I'm not really here to do that, man. I'm here to support my community, and my community is C10s and Chevys. I've gotten a lot of help from people like John Oro, like Johnny, like Tony Lopez. They've helped me out. David Brooks. They've helped me out with my C10s. They've helped me out with parts. They've helped me out. So I want to give back. I help out my community. I help out my guys, my people. C10s, I help them out. I don't charge. Hey, send me what you want. I'll post it up. If you want to give me something, that's cool. I appreciate it. But I'll post it, man. Send it and I'll post it. Hopefully it sells. And I've gotten a lot of replies like, hey, man, thanks. Thanks to your page, my truck sold. I was trying to sell my truck for the last 2 months and nothing. One day posted on C10 Sales and it sold. I was like, hey, man, congratulations. I know the feeling. Trying to get rid of something, not be able to sell it, and out of nowhere somebody comes and buys it.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of a matchmaker because if you think about it too, sometimes it's just, finding the right guy that, wants to buy it. And that's the key, is just now with as much as you guys are growing, how fast, I mean, literally, I don't think there's a C10 Instagram growing any faster than yours, exponentially, just the speed, which is awesome. And, it's only going to get, whether it's going to get better or worse for you, however you want to look at it, but it's going to get pretty crazy. I'm just trying to think if you could have like a filter system. You could write all the stuff you want. Like, here, read this before you send me anything. People are still going to send you everything. And, kudos to you for putting in the work, because I can only imagine it's a ton of time.
I try to help out the guys when they send me descriptions that don't make sense or they're missing key things. Like, somebody just sent me a truck to post. You couldn't tell in the pictures if it was a long bed or a short bed. And I'm like, is it a long or short bed? He goes, oh, it's a short bed. I'm like, that's the most important part of your C10, man. I'm like, how could he skip that? Or location. A lot of people forget to put the location. And then this is one pet peeve for everybody. They want to see a price.
Yeah.
They want to see a price. They hate the DM me and I'll send you the price. Because, hey, just put the price out there so people know. They won't be bothering you. And if the truck's if it's a good looking truck with the right price, it's gonna sell, and people want to see the price. The biggest thing is, people want to see the price, people want to see the location, and a lot of people keep their accounts private. So once I post their vehicles, if your account is private, a lot of times people can't send you messages. So if you're not checking the post, you're not gonna be able to sell it.
Yeah, that's the hard part when you are private, you know what I mean? So it is a struggle, and you try to, I know I've done that, seeing something on there or just somebody, somehow something will be linked over to me and you like try to reach out to them and then it's private and you can't get a hold of them or vice versa. I do think the price thing is stellar. I think so with Yellowstone, you posted it. At one point when I went to Texas, I kind of just threw it out there like, yeah, it's going to be for sale. Huge regret. Not a regret. That would be negative. It was just a good learning experience. Make sure if you don't want to get flooded with just whether or not, I'm not going to say they're lowballing. They're just probably asinine and they think that they can get something so cheap. And I think if you really can put a realistic price down, then that will help you weed out a lot of people that think, naively or hopefully that it's going to be a $5,000 deal when it's, it's like, hey, I'm asking $12,000 for my truck. This is what it is. This is what I've done. And if you put that up there, $12,000, you're probably going to get $12,000, anywhere from $10,000 to $12,000, whatever, depending on what you're trying to sell. But if you don't, then you might get a flood of, guys who think they're going to get it for $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. And then you're going to have to just weed through them, you being the seller, not you, obviously, Cougar. And it's just it's about time.
Yeah, it's true. If you don't put the price up there, people that they see the truck, it's a good looking truck. It looks like a $20,000 truck, but they don't know. They're going to assume, oh, this guy will take $5,000. This guy will take $6,000. So they're going to DM you ridiculous prices. So your best bet is put a good description, put the price out there, and if you want to sell it for less, that's on you. But people have an idea of what they're gonna go at you with. Yeah.
Now, have you ever thought about charging? I mean, I think if you charge, I think what you're doing is great. So I don't change anything. More so of a question. If you said, hey, I'm going to charge $10 a pop, you might get a lot less and weed through some of the people to do a little more due diligence. Something to think about.
Yeah, I've thought about it, and I talked to my girl when I was doing it, and I was like, she's like, yeah, you should charge about, yeah, but at the same time, I'm going to get less people wanting to post up, and it's going to be less foot traffic, and at the same time, I don't want to really pay $10 myself if it's not going to sell. So, hey, if it sells, cool, congratulations. If you want to hook it up if you want to hook me up, hook me up. If you don't, no big deal. And then at the same time, there's a lot of old school people on Instagram. You'll be surprised how many people on Instagram that don't know how to use Instagram, let alone have a PayPal, Venmo, anything like that. I get DMs all the time where it's no pictures or just a picture, no description, or how do I send you a picture? how do I get in contact with you? It's just a lot of people that don't know how to use Instagram, so you kind of need to help them with it. So I don't charge just because, hey, I got to help out my people too.
That's good. I mean, I respect that. Have you ever had something that came through that you're like, I'm going to swipe this thing up?
Yeah, you know what? I've done that with a couple of guys or people that don't know what their value is on their vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And I've told them, hey, you gotta raise it up, man. You gotta raise it up. You can't put it so low. They're like, oh, I just want to get rid of it. I just want to get rid of it for $2,500. I'm like, if you want to get rid of it for $2,500, I'll send you the $2,500 right now. That's an easy $5,000 car. That's an easy $7,000 truck. Post it up for hire, and it's worked out.
Yeah.
And the people that I've done that with, they're so grateful. One guy the other day, he posted a Blazer for dirt cheap. I'm like, hey, you need to bump it up for another $1,000, man. That's too cheap. And he goes, you sure? You sure? I'm positive. Bump it up another $1,000 at least, because people are gonna lowball you, and you're gonna get what you're asking for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pump it up another $1,000, so when they lowball you, I'll make up the difference. Same day it sold for what I told him to post it for, and he sent me $300.
Well, good. I mean, that's
like,
paying it forward for sure. That's pretty cool that he did that. And honestly, if you did end up getting one, Cougar, I think that's cool, because that's a position, that's kind of the reward that you're in for all the work, because I can't even imagine all the stuff you go through and then have to filter through and post. So that's kind of a cool way to give back to you for, what you've been able to build. And you've built an amazing site. It's a fast mover. Like he said, there's like 28,000 followers. And honestly, by the time this thing drops, it probably will be up to 30. And good for you, dude.
Yeah, I see it by this weekend. It should be up at 30, because it's been moving up so fast.
Good.
It's been moving up at least about 100 a day, at least.
That's cool.
And I was thinking, man, it is too fast. This is probably like fake followers or something. But no, everybody's legit. It's all car people. It's people that's into C10s, people that are into cars. It's people looking to buy a C10 or a Blazer or something.
Yeah, and if they can get it and then get that first interaction, what would be cool to see if you could get back and kind of see, maybe from a pricing perspective, but how many people sell it on your, through Instagram. So you could say, kind of like a realtor, they're like, all right, we have a 78% sales rate. It's like, hey, when you post it on here, I filter it, I'm kind of a sales or a pricing guru. Here's where if you really want to sell it, you put it here, and 80% of the time it sells through C10 Sales, and more work for you to do all that and figure it out. I'm just kind of an idea, spitballing that.
Another problem that happens too is a lot of people post it, but they're not on it. I get a lot of DMs. Hey, I've been trying to get a hold of this person, and you know what I'm talking about. I've been trying to get a hold of this person, and he doesn't reach back at me, or hey, I'm trying to buy this truck. I got the cash. I'll PayPal him, whatever, but he doesn't reply to me. It's like, that's out of my control. I'll post it for the people, but if they don't reply or they don't check their DMs, or once again, they might not know how to check their DMs, they're not going to be able to sell their vehicles.
Yeah, for the audience, he posted something up. Cougar posted on C10 Sales. I see it. I get a hold of the guy. The guy, I think initially we made contact. We actually had some calls, phone call and some text message and direct messages going back and forth. I bought it per the word, and okay, we agree this much. Boom. Okay, you're good. I'm good. I'll send you some money. And then, I'm going to say, let's say that's 10:30 in the morning. Well, then like 5 o'clock, I'm like, all right, dude, like, I need to be PayPaling you some money. And I don't hear back from him. And I'm like, hey, I need to be PayPaling you some money. Are we good? Can I send you some money? Well, then the next morning, and if you remember what I said to you was, I'm going to give him first of all, I go, hey, dude, this guy went dark on me. Do you have contact with him? And you're like, no, not really, which, I wasn't really thinking that you're getting bombed all the time. But I thought I had this thing locked down. The next morning, very early, and I think I said, I give him benefit of the doubt. Maybe he goes to bed at, 7 o'clock, works whatever shift. The next morning, he did react to me or respond to me, but then he called and told me that he sold it kind of out from under me for more money. So that was one of those deals where it is what it is. A guy agrees to a price, kind of does a verbal handshake, and that's definitely nothing to reflect on C10 Sales. That was just an incident where the guy was dishonest because he said one thing, and unfortunately it just didn't work out. What would you recommend? Kind of that brings me to a point. What would you recommend for that initial payment? Because what this guy told me was, I usually send $500 PayPal. I think, okay, that, I fill the guy out as much as I can, but it's like, okay, I'm going to send you $500, dude. This is me showing you right now that I'm interested, and this is my handshake, essentially a non-refundable deposit. And then he said that the guy gave him full price of what he was asking and sent it via Western Union, which I was like, I'm not doing that. That's crazy. I'm not sending that kind of money, without, looking at it and so on and so forth. I mean, if I drive in-state, in-city, out-of-state, and I look at it and I'm like, you know what? You sold it, said that it was what it was, and it's not. Either we can renegotiate, or I'll make a decision to say, I'm going to eat this 500 and it's not worth it, and I've had a vehicle that I did buy. It came to me, and I would have eaten the 5, but I'd already aligned the transport and everything, and so I got it, and I actually ended up okay on the vehicle, and I'm not a flipper. I don't know, I feel like I end up with some that I want and some that I want to build, and so on and so forth. But what would you recommend? What would you say helps, or you've in your pre-C10 sales history of buying and flipping trucks or cars, how do you usually go about it? C10 Nation. For over 16 years, truck builders continue to choose AccuAir suspension for their air management solution. Today, that choice gets even easier. Endo CVT by AccuAir. CVT. Compressor, valve, tank. Takes all of the components that previously needed to be pieced together and integrates them into an all-in-one, easy-to-install unit. That means an internal compressor with a built-in air dryer, smart sensors to keep everything running smooth, valves in the tank caps, and a plug-and-play harness. The best part? Silent. Library silent. No more buzzing compressors. Finally. Are you ready to choose the latest and greatest in air management? See it and try to hear it for yourself by heading to endo.accuair.com. That's endo, endo.accuair.com. Classic Performance Products, CPP, has a few new products out. Let's start with their new Hydra Stop Street Beast hydraulic assist systems. CPP's Hydra Stop Street Beast is a direct fit, high-performance hydraulic brake assist system that works great when running a performance engine setup and there is not enough vacuum produced to operate a traditional booster. Simply plumb into your power steering system and share the fluid reservoir with your power steering pump to your high-performance brake system. Assembled with all new parts, this unit puts out an amazing 1800 PSI at the wheels. How about their new 14-inch big brake kits? CPP now offers a 6-piston, 14-inch big brake system for your Chevy truck, featuring 2-piece pre-assembled drilled, slotted, and zinc-coated rotors, 6-piston billet aluminum calipers with DOT-compliant dust and weather seals, premium stainless hardware, and braided stainless brake hoses. These brakes work with their modular and Corvette-style spindles. Remember, use C10 Talk at checkout and save 10% off your order. Damn, son, 10%? www.classicperform.com. What would you recommend? What would you say helps, or you've in your pre-C10 sales history of buying and flipping trucks or cars, how do you usually go about it?
I've been in that situation more than once where I bought vehicles just because it was too good of a deal, or it's what I wanted, or I knew somebody must wanted to have that truck or car, and I bought it, and when it arrives to my house, it isn't what it is. And I've lost a lot of money on that. I've made a lot of money on that, but it all comes down from experience. Like you said, $500, it might be a lot to some people, but it's not a lot to lose when you could be losing $5, $10, $12, $13,000. So I would say $500 is a good deposit if you're going to buy a vehicle that you haven't seen for yourself. If you're going off of pictures, if you're going off a video that somebody's sending you, I think $500 is a good amount to put down to get ready to lose. But you have to go look at a vehicle. You have to go look at a vehicle because pictures aren't everything. And I think with the C10 community, and C10 Sales, I think networking, you'll meet more people and you'll be able to send somebody like, here I'm in LA. If there's a vehicle in Arizona that I need to have or I want to get, I know I could call Johnny. G and, hey, could you go check this out for me? Yeah, I'll go check it out for you right then and there. And that's how I think it's going to be the best way for it to work out for you if you're buying something out of state or where you're not close by. Because you have to have eyes on it.
Well, and I don't, want to be, I guess, let's just go devil's advocate. Because the scene is so popular, the trucks are popular, they're out there, you're going to have people who are in it to win it. And, you'll have some people that you're buying it from grandpa and it was his truck or it was passed down to his grandson or his granddaughter or somebody and you just scored. And you're going to have somebody who is, you've all probably watched Fast and Loud. Okay. Richard's making money, and so you're going to have some people that are going to take a turd and polish it and move it on down the road. So, be cognizant of that. If you can find a 1 or 2 owner, then you're better off. But when the scene gets as popular as it is, and there's, trucks changing hands daily, just, do your due diligence and the things to look for. And, one of the things that on the podcast I just had on, the guy said he didn't get titles like back east. I haven't had a chance to research that or kind of find out from some of the guys in the C10 Nation that I know are back in Mississippi, Arkansas, so on and so forth. But to not have a title, that's crazy. Have you ever, in Cali, it's pink slip, right? So pink slip and title?
Yeah. The pink slip is the title in California. So that's your title, and it's a little more work here in California when you don't have a title or if it's out of state. You have to take it in, get it inspected and all that. But it is a little harder here in California. I know in Arizona, you go register and they give you your plate right then and there, correct?
They do, but not really. So it's still pretty good, but the problem is depending on where you're at. If you're in Phoenix, then you got to go through emissions. So the way to get around that is have classic insurance. If you have classic insurance, and technically you're not supposed to drive more than like 2,500 miles a year, but I've never really been checked on my mileage. Obviously, Yellowstone is, I've put 12,000 miles on that thing going to Texas, California, and Nevada. So I guess if they pulled this podcast, they could be like, you put too many miles on that thing. But, that's the key in the Phoenix metro area because of emissions. You either have to pass emissions, which you can still pass emissions with a carburetor, or LS motor. It's not like Cali where it's like 75, it's a year base. I will say my son has a 66, which is key because he doesn't have to go through emissions. So 66 and older, it doesn't matter. 67 on up, you have to go through emissions or have classic insurance. So however, and then you can get a title and so on and so forth. So if it's an out-of-state vehicle, you've got to take it and they have to do an inspection. So they'll inspect, like for example, if I have a California rig, then I just take it down and they inspect it. They look at the VIN, they look at the, whatever it is, they cross-reference the title, boom, 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 you're good. And then if you provide either classic insurance or whatever, then they'll give you, they'll pass you and get you on the road. But without that emissions, you can have a plate, but no registration, no sticker, nothing to put in your glove box. So, and then the other big thing in Arizona that's different is, let's say you've got an old vehicle in the backyard. I want that vehicle. I used to just be able to get a title transfer. Now they want a plate too. And the guy at the DMV explained it to me one time about how it was because the bigger dealers were doing that and not paying, and they were just screwing the state out of a ton of money. So you could just be like, all right, hey Chuck, I want this car, you get it, and I just want to transfer the title, and that's it. It's just a title and a vehicle transfer. Now they want you to actually have a plate. So you don't have to go through emissions for that. I know, I just want to make sure I'm not confusing my audience, but you don't have to go through emissions for that because you're actually not going to drive it. But you do have to get a plate, which is kind of stupid because you got to pay for all that and so on and so forth. But Each state's a little different.
Yeah, like you said, best thing for everybody to know is know your laws, know your laws in your state before you buy a vehicle. And back to our inspecting the vehicle before you buy it. I've broken a few hearts already with the C10 Sales, where people have sent me their vehicles to post up, oh, this is the original short bed. And just by the pictures and just by the experience I've had with C10, I've told a couple guys, hey, that's not an original short bed. And they're like, no, yeah, it is. The guy I bought it from told me it was. I was like, that's not an original short bed. I could tell you right now just by the pictures, and I'll point out the obvious, and they're like, oh man. So their $25,000 price range that they had is now down to 15 because it's not an original short bed that they were claiming that was sold to them.
Yeah.
So people need to inspect. They need to get underneath the car and look at the frame. They need to look at the bed. They need to look in the glove box. They need to look at all that before they drop a lot of money on an original short bed, because they think it's an original short bed. They're told it's an original short bed.
Well, you bring up a ton of valid points. So even if it was a frame swap, which is not hard to do, the number one way to do it is look at the glove box, match up the VIN. The VIN is going to tell you if it's a short bed or a long bed. And then secondary is probably going to be stake holes. If you've got 3, then it was depending on how it was welded up, but that's a big thing too. If you've got 2 versus 3, what else do you look for?
What I always do, because I've run into a couple where they've done clean beds. They've covered up the pocket right above the wheel well. What I do is on the bed itself, I'll run my hand underneath. So if you feel the weld marks underneath, because they could shave the top, they could clean it up, put a little bit of bond on it, look good. But if you run your hand underneath where that second stake pocket is, right above the wheel wells on the bed, you could feel it right there.
Yeah.
You'll feel the weld. You'll feel where they covered it up. If you look in the glove box, I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
On the bed, if you open up the glove box and you don't see a 115, you know that's not a short bed. You see 127, that's a cut down long bed.
Yeah.
If you see, you could also see the VIN if you want to see if that frame matches that cab so you can see it right where the gearbox is. The gearbox is that part of the frame right there. You'll see the VIN number matching the VIN number on the cab.
Now that's 67 to 72, right? Because I do not think that's for the square body. Is that what we were talking about? That
no.
Yeah, I'll have to look at. So I've got orange slice pretty well tore down, at least the back. I will, when I start the front, I'm doing the Ride Tech coilover setup. When I start the front, I'll look right there on the frame of orange slice and see what I see. Because on a 6772, it's 2 spots. It's both on the driver's side. One right there on the high hump of the front by the gearbox, and then the second one is just behind the cab, right there, stamped into the frame. So if you want to look at it, you can find it. I was going to mention too, a friend of mine who actually was a used car salesman, really seems to do a lot of due diligence. He bought a two-wheel drive K5 Blazer. I think it was an 80. Excuse me. And he buys it out of state. Ends up going to, he knows a guy who owns or runs a 4-wheel parts place. And he gets a call like 2 days later, and they had put it on the lift, and they were like, dude, this is a conversion. And he's like, no way. He tried to give it back, essentially sell it back and be like, dude, give me my money. You told me it was a two-wheel drive, and it's not. And the guy's like, nope, too bad. So he's driving it around town. I mean, I see it all the time, and it was a conversion. He thought it was, he's thinking, I'm getting a good deal on a two-wheel drive Blazer, and he was driving a 4-wheel drive converted Blazer, which I don't think C10s, it's quite, or Blazers, I don't think it's quite as crazy as, some of these other Camaros and SSs and Volkswagens and everything that are just so
I think on Blazers right now it's real hot. On the 69, 72 Blazers, if you see that C, you see the CC on the VIN, it's a two-wheel drive. If you see the K, it's a 4-wheel drive. I think people are real hot on those if they're original 2-wheel drives. I have a 71 original 2-wheel drive with a 5.3 with a 5-speed. I had another one. I had a 69 as well. I sold that one not too long ago. But I think people are real tough on those. If it's an original two-wheel drive or if it's a conversion, I've seen some real clean conversions. If you want a two-wheel drive, I mean, if you want a 6972 Blazer, and you don't want to pay the few extra $1,000 to find an original two-wheel drive, a conversion is cool.
Well, I mean,
get a conversion if it's for you.
But if you're gonna get you're gonna get a chassis, okay? So you go out, you get a chassis made, and you have a conversion. I mean, granted, if you're that guy that has to have that CC and you have to have that two-wheel drive, but I mean, if you're doing it up and you've got a beautiful chassis that's modernized, you got an LS in there, you've got an LT. I mean, you're already spending a big money anyway. So to each his own. We'll leave it at that. I mean, there's some guys that, obviously the two-wheel drive is what it is, but there's scammers out there. Be careful. And you bring up a great point. Sometimes the guy selling it might not even know that it's not what he thinks it is.
Exactly. Like you said earlier, so many C10s are passing so many hands right now. From when it started in the beginning, the first guy that sold it, that bought it off of the grandpa, now it's past 6 people's hands. The story has changed. The story has changed tremendously. So you don't know what you're buying. You have to check it out. You have to look at it. You have to do your homework. If you don't know, call somebody. There's so many people out there. Like since I've been in the C10 game, C10 people aren't assholes. They'll help you out. You have your handful of 1 or 2 guys that are assholes, but normal, all guys are cool. They're all going to help you out. They'll all give you some advice. They'll all tell you, hey, yeah, this year should have 5 legs. No, that should have a small window. Like I get a lot of guys, oh, this is a 72 original small window. No, buddy, they stopped making small windows in 67. So that's not an original truck.
Yeah.
So you just got to talk to people, ask the questions. There's a lot of people that help out. There's a lot of people that help you out. It's just, you got to ask the questions.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, and I think you're right on. I think the C10 community, the C10 Nation, the people generally are very helpful, and every now and then you're going to get somebody who's, maybe a little bit of an asshole, but sometimes you can warm those guys up, and usually if you can usually if you can get those guys warmed up, they'll really surprise you. What's the most common question that you get asked through C10 Sales?
What's the value? What's the value of my C10? That's every day I get a handful of those. And I tell everybody, I can't give you a value because I've seen a cool short bed fleet side posted. I'll post it up for $7,000. Cool, clean one. Then I'll get a long bed rusted bucket for $20,000. So the prices are all over the place. It's just where you're located at and how much you want to pay. Because I could tell you right now, the price out here in Cali is going to be a little higher than the price out in Kansas. That's just the way it is.
Cost of living.
Yeah, cost of living, and you got a little more of a selection out here that has a little less rust.
What's the most frustrating part of doing it in a constructive, positive way?
The most frustrating part is people asking me when I post something up. They'll instead of on everything I post up, I've posted up a few hundred vehicles already. And I always tag the seller. Maybe 1 or 2 guys that are too old school that their daughter was posting there for them or their son was posting there for them, and they wanted just their telephone numbers. Everybody always sends me a message like, "Oh, what's the lowest you'll go?" or "Give me more details." I'm not the one selling it. I'm just posting it for people. I'm not the one selling it, so don't contact me. If I post it up and it's one of my personal vehicles or something that I'm selling, I always tag Cougar 1967. But if somebody's selling it, if Ronnie from C10 Talks is selling a Yellowstone, he's going to be tagged on it. Don't ask me. But that's probably the most frustrating part because people won't read the ad. Or
people don't, man.
You'll see,
they just go right through it. People don't. They don't want to. It's like, are you kidding me? Like we used to freaking read the Sunday classifieds and the Auto Trader, and life is so easy and right in your face, and it's like please just read it.
And I post the for sale. I post a huge for sale with the price right on the first picture. And people still DM me, how much you asking? And the other day, it was a long day. It was a busy day. And I told the guy, really, dude, it's right in front of you. Look. And he goes, oh, my bad. I didn't look. I was like, that's the first picture you see is the price with the vehicle.
With the huge for sale sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some people forget about it. Some people just, I think it's just a lot of people aren't even interested in buying it or anything. They just want to ask or just want to talk, or you get a lot of people that want to collect pictures of cars. So it is what it is.
Do you have some that you think people are just trying to get a value? They might not really wanting to sell it.
Yeah, I had a guy today actually. He asked me if I could send him some messages on vehicles that I've sold, because he's trying to get a value of a car that he's building. I told him I don't really have time. Look through my page, and I don't really delete anything off. If it's sold, I mark it sold if they told me. But look through my page and you get an idea of what your vehicle's worth.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right.
What's the craziest one, like from perspective of price, that you did post and you're like, I don't know, man, this is crazy.
If they're that crazy, I won't post it. If they're that crazy, like the one I'm talking about, it was, I think on Saturday, it was a 72. I don't know if the guy's listening or not, but it was a 72 long bed, blue, no interior, no engine, no tranny, rusted to hell. I don't think any panel on that truck was worth anything. I don't even think the truck was worth parting out, but he was told it was a rare truck, so he wanted 20 grand for it. So I didn't even post it. I told him, dude, I can't post it. I can. And it's like, besides all the stuff they're going to talk to you, not too long ago, I had a lot of heat about it. I posted a long bed converted into a short bed. And it was done bad. It was done bad. It was wavy. It had tons of Bondo on it. It looked like they hit it with the salsa all the way through. But as soon as I posted it, I told my wife, hey, I shouldn't even post this one. She goes, why not? I'm going to look at it. She goes, look. And my girl knows cars.
Yeah.
She's been around her whole life. My father-in-law has a bunch of show cars. So she knows cars. And I showed it to her, and she's like, I don't know, man. I shouldn't have posted it. And as soon as I posted it, I got all kinds of messages. I got all kinds of comments. And then I delete a lot of comments of people just talking crap, because I feel bad. Like, if you're trying to sell your vehicle and somebody's over here talking crap to you, that it's ugly, that you overpriced it or something, I feel bad, so I delete it. But I couldn't keep up with this one, man. The comments were too many.
That's a damn son special. Damn son, How much you want for that thing? It's all cut up.
That guy, hopefully he didn't buy it. I'm hoping that he did it. He was practicing or something, but it was bad.
You know, some of that you probably just almost entertaining. You know, I'm like you said, you feel bad, but sometimes maybe somebody can get a little bit of the point, you know, but I'm sure, you know, sometimes you're like, all right, too far. I got to clean this one up.
And that's what I was talking to my buddy. I'm like, hey, you know what? At least what I got from that ad was a bunch of followers, because everybody was tagging their buddies like, hey, look at this, look at this, look at this. Could you believe this guy? So I got that from it, but I feel bad. I know if Metal Ox would have saw it, if he saw it, he must have been rolling.
Metal Ox is so chill. He don't even care. He's like, send them, I'll fix it. Send them, I'll take care of it. But what about shipping? Go ahead.
There's no fixing that bed.
Yeah.
Shipping, I have a guy that I always use, but shipping's on you, on everybody.
I just wondered if they ask you about, like, hey, do you have a guy, or what do you recommend, or, you know, because I could see where if there is a flaw within C10 Sales, it's, you know, that it's across state lines. So if you go, you know, locally, Craigslist or, you know, Facebook or whatever, then a lot of times it's not, you know, distance or across state lines. So I wonder if, you know, you're getting a lot of questions about shipping. C10 Nation, are you thinking about upgrading that motor? Well, PSI is your go-to source for LSX conversion wiring harnesses. They have been in the LS conversion business for 10 years, or I like to say C10 years. They specialize in standalone wiring harness for GM Gen 2, 3, 4, 5, LS and LT-based engines and transmissions. Aside from harnesses, they offer components and kits for retrofitting older vehicles, PCM programming, fuel systems, engine sensors, replacement GM pigtails, and so much more. All harnesses are made with pride in the USA. In-house full-time technical support to help you with all of your installation questions, after-sales customer support, and a 4-wire hookup to make the installation process as easy as possible. For our listeners, go to psiconversion.com/C10 Talk. psiconversion.com C10 Talk. Use coupon code C10 Talk and you will get a free shirt and free shipping on orders over $250. Free shipping and a free t-shirt. So if you're going to switch out that motor and upgrade to an LS-based motor, you're ready to go with PSI. C10 Nation, you've heard me talk about my gauges. Dakota Digital. I love them. Don't forget the interior of your build. Dakota Digital has the best gauges for our trucks. Whether you want a direct fit into the stock bezel or something custom. These kits are complete with sensors for any engine. The new RTX series is really incredible. I think it stands for retro, but it should stand for rad. They look just like the stock clusters, but have all the technology you'd expect from Dakota Digital. You can change the lighting colors, customize the reading in the message centers, and do it all from the mobile app. That's right, the HDX and RTX series have Bluetooth technology, so you can mess with them from your phone. Just don't do it while you're driving. I mean, literally, I can have Yellowstone. I'm looking at RPM, trip odometer, percent fuel, oil pressure, and now I have the GPS set up. I can tell you direction, elevation, and even outside temp. Damn, son, it's like a modern truck, but even better in a classic. Dakota Digital is absolutely the best in aftermarket gauges, so check them out at dakotadigital.com. dakotadigital.com. And you can follow them on Instagram and Facebook too. So I wonder if, you're getting a lot of questions about shipping.
I haven't got a lot of questions about shipping, but one thing that I did notice, and I was talking to my buddy about it, is I just did it for Tony from Lopez Customs, because he was looking to pick up a vehicle that was up north. He goes, hey, do me a favor, post it up, see if anybody's coming this way with an empty trailer. I've done it a few times already. I want to say maybe 4 or 5 times. And you'll be surprised how many people are moving vehicles that they have an empty trailer and they're looking to bring something back. So that gets filled right away. So say you want to pick something up from Texas and you're looking for somebody cheap or somebody to pick it up for you, send me a picture, send me a description, maybe a screenshot of the map. And I'll post it up. Hey, Ronnie bought this vehicle. It's here in Texas, and he needs it delivered to Arizona. Who could do it? How much? And people will start DMing you. People will start messaging you. Hey, you know what? I'm taking a vehicle from Arizona to Texas, and I need something to bring back. I'll do it for you. A couple $100 or whatever the price is.
Your next page, C10 Transport.
Yeah, yeah, but the few that I've posted have worked out real good for everybody. It's worked out real good for everybody.
Good. You are like you're a matchmaker, and it's a good thing for everybody. It really is. I just, the amount of work you're doing, but it's really helping out the community. And I think that's why the Instagram followers are so just getting on board. They're seeing it. It's also fun. There is an entertainment value to see what somebody's posting, what somebody's asking, and then the curiosity, maybe I might want something today.
Yeah, I posted a Blazer not too long ago for $45,000, and I was like, oh man, that's a lot. It was a killer Blazer. I was like, I don't know if people are buying $45,000 Blazers, and the next day he goes, hey man, thanks, it's sold. I was like, oh damn, that was fast.
Wow.
But there's people out there ready to buy, man. There's people out there ready to buy. You just got to reach them.
Yeah, that would be cool if you could find out, hey, it's sold, how much and where did it go type deal. But, this is more work for you. How do you find the time?
You know what? I got to apologize to a couple people because I try not to open them when I'm about or while I'm at work. I try not to open them because then I lose them. Because, when you have a DM, it's lit up that you have a DM or it's in the font's darker and it's a little bigger. Well, sometimes I open them. And I'll go later on in the afternoon or when I'm not busy to post them, and I forget about those because they're not lit up anymore. So if I forget, everybody send it to me again or send me a reminder so I can repost it. But once I make time or once I'm free, I'll start posting. But I got it down already. It takes me less than a minute to post something. Way less than a minute, maybe 30 seconds. As long as the info's there and I don't have to keep on editing stuff, I got it down to science to post it real quick.
Just copy and paste it and put the picture on there and go?
I'll save them. I'll save all the pictures. I'll add my for sale sign. I put it in there, and as long as all the information's there, I could copy and paste it, organize it a little bit, take some stuff off. Like nobody needs to know that your grandma's uncle gave you the car 20 years ago and it sat in your garage. Nobody needs to know all that. They just, this is the price, this is the vehicle, this is where it's at, and let's go. The less is more. Less is more.
Yeah, and they can reach out to you if they want to find out more, and then you can give them the backstory, so on and so forth. So, yeah, for the audience to capture, the vehicle and the seller, less is more.
Yeah, and if somebody's really interested in the vehicle, they're gonna send you a DM.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna. From all the sales that I've seen, people have gone straight to the seller. They don't drop a comment. They don't drop a comment. Hey, how much or what's the lowest? They'll go straight to the seller. Hey, what's the bottom dollar? Where you at? When could I go see it? People that are gonna buy the vehicle, they're gonna go straight to you
as fast as they can because they want to get in that pole position, and leaving time on C10 Sales or leaving a comment on C10 Sales is like, nope. I'm clicking right on Cougar 1967. I'm gonna DM him and say what's up.
And that's why I tell a lot of people, when people ask me, hey, what do I need to do to get my vehicle on your page? I send them a little description that I have. Here's the description. I think I sent it to you. Here's a little description. Send me this. And I tell everybody, put your cell phone number down. Put your cell phone number down. Because the person that wants it, that's ready to buy, they're going to shoot you a text or they're going to call you. And if they send you a DM, you're not going to check right away. You're not going to check at night. You're not going to check. But if you hear your phone ring or you hear the text message, you're going to check.
Yeah.
I encourage everybody, number.
Good. Yeah, if you want to sell it, put your number. What do you, since you're kind of a fanatic, you've been into it, you've probably had, it sounds like you've had so many. What's your current favorite that you have, and are you working on anything?
Blazers. I like Blazers. Me personally, I have a family. I have a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, and you can't throw them in the truck. You can't throw them in the C10 with a bench seat. So I like Blazers. I throw my kids in the back, my girl in the front. I have had lifted ones. I have 2-wheel drive ones. I've had them all. So I like 69 to 72 Blazers.
Cool.
2-wheel drive.
All right. Yeah, and there's a lot of them. Well, not a lot of them out there, but they're out there, and there's just a lot of movement. You guys can watch on his page, C10 Sales. So if you guys want to get a hold of him, if you've got something to sell, be respectful of his time and hit him up at C10 Sales. Do you get crossover stuff, Cougar? Do you get stuff, people ever sending you stuff on your personal, or do you really just try to keep it separate?
I try to keep it separate. In the beginning, when I started doing it, I was messing up. I was posting C10 Sales on my personal one. I was posting pictures of my kids on the C10 Sales, and I had them all mixed up. So I'm not on my personal one as much anymore, just because the C10 Sales takes up so much of my time. But I'm on it.
Do you have your notifications enabled?
Yeah, I don't have them on. Oh man, it just goes off too much.
Oh, I don't have mine. I miss a lot of stuff because I'm like, I see some guys, my friends that have it, and I'm like, oh my God, their phone. I turned that off years ago. I'm like, there's no way I can keep up with all that.
Yeah, it's off. And then my girl's not gonna like it when I'm getting DMs at 2:00 in the morning either. So.
Yeah, the different time zone. Do you ever get somebody who's kind of almost from the perspective of like rude? Like they might have sent you a DM, at 8 p.m. and then the next day they've already sent you like 3 or 4 more. Almost like they're so anxious to get it on there and get it sold. Do you ever get anybody who you're like, dude, come on, man, I'm working on it?
I've had that a few times actually, where people, hey, could you repost it? When I repost it, I have to redo it because the picture is saved with the price in there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go ahead and edit that. So I have to resave the picture, re-put the for sale sign, and re-put the price. So I tell people, hey, you need to wait till I put all this other stuff that's new. I need to put the new stuff. These guys are ahead of you. Yours has been posted. If it didn't sell, it didn't sell. I'm sorry about that. If they're my buddies, they're real close friends, then I'll do it right away. But if it's some guy like, hey, repost it. All right, hold on. Hey, this is a reminder. Post it. Are you going to post it? Are you going to post it? Hey, you know what? I don't have time. I'll do it later. I'll eventually repost it when I get time. But if you're going to be rude, if you're going to be an ass about it, it's not your page. Plain and simple.
Yeah. Yeah, don't be rude. Don't be a jackass, and you'll, whatever my wife always says, you get more bees with honey or something like that. But
I know there's a lot of people I've been getting now that are outside of the United States, and the communication or the language barrier, it's the way they're explaining something to me, it might come off rude, or the way I'm explaining it to them might come off rude. So it's also that as well. there's a lot of people in other countries that are asking me, hey, if I buy it, could you help me out with shipping? You need to talk to the seller directly, because I don't know what you're saying. You might not know what I'm saying, and there's a lot of money on the line. I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, that is probably pretty stressful.
Yeah.
All right, man. I think what you're doing is awesome. I respect what you're doing for the community and the nation and the guys. You know, you are kind of a little bit of a matchmaker. So keep it up. For you guys out there, if you want to hit him up, it's C10 Sales, just like that. No dots, no underscores, just C10 Sales, SALES, and you're going to get Cougar 1967 on the other end. If you want to sell something or you want to check out his page, because he's got a lot of content. He's posting daily. It's a fun one to watch, and that's it, man. Anything else to add?
No, man. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me on there on C10 Fox, and like you said, I'm out there to help people out. If you want to post something, send them my way and I'll post it.
Yeah, make sure you look at his directions, because that's the key. If you can fill out the directions, to the best that you can, that's going to help not only you as a seller, it's going to help the buyer, and then that line of communication between you and the prospective buyer will help. And again, I think if you can DM somebody, you can send them a couple $100, whatever you agree to. PayPal works good. That's why eBay was such a success and still is, because you have some protection there. If you just do it person to person, you might end up like me. Now, I didn't send the guy any money. I didn't have the opportunity to. But, there is some people out there that they might up it. They might put it through on C10 Sales as, let's just say, for example, 5 or let's say 10,000. 10,000. Well, if they get bombed with 50 DMs, they're gonna figure out real quick like I undervalued that, and then they may raise it up on you. But that will be between you and them to figure out.
And that's something old school that a lot of people don't practice now. But be a man of your word. If you say this is the price, this is the price. If you regret it right away, hey, contact me right away. I'll delete it. You figure it out. But if you tell somebody this is the price and come and get it, leave it at that. You already made a deal with that person, and that person made arrangements. That person maybe skipped on another deal to get that deal that you guys already set an arrangement on.
Yeah. Or if you decide to change your mind and take more money, you should probably call that initial guy back and say, hey, I'm a jackass, and this guy offered me, $1,000 or $1,500 more. You're in the pole position. What do you want to do? And then you're putting that guy back in it. But that's probably a whole nother
communication.
Yeah, that's probably a whole nother another episode. Cougar, thank you for your time. You guys can check him out, C10 Sales. And dude, I only hope that next time we talk, it's 30, 35, 40, 45, 50,000 followers. Keep it up, man.
Thank you, man.